Hello. I'm back here on part three of this series concerning the ears, eyes, sinuses, and throat. We're coming down to the throat now, and the reason why I wanted to discuss this from a personal standpoint, I had an incident about 7 months into the infection where I started dealing with the insectoid side of Morgellons. I had not in 2008 seen too much about plants, plant materials, seedlings, and plant leaves. I had not known anything. I didn't know anything about this. So this was a completely absurd thought in my mind that this was even possible. And yet, you know, I ended up experiencing all this. And what happened to me about 7 months into the year 2009 was I had trouble with my throat, and I started gargling with salt water, trying to swallow bread, doing whatever you would normally do to try to get a fish bone out of your throat, and try to dislodge whatever was there. And I started to worry because I had been attacked severely in the chest and throat area and neck, back, lungs, and they were coming out of everywhere. And I was really trying to deal with this. So at this point, I didn't know what to do. And like I said, I had searched the internet and just so much confusion and so much going on and trying to go from one site and reading what people thought, what they said, and it was just so much conjecture and people, I don't know, everything was so off the wall, and I just thought, I've entered into an insane asylum. But I had to shut all that down, and I had to deal with my own body and what I was going through. And at this point, I had already turned to God with everything that I was and am, and so I consulted Him on this. And I have to be honest with you, I was just led to take honey, and I said, okay, well, I tried everything else, and I took the honey, and I woke up the next morning with two locust type forms. They're not normal locusts. But they were similar to them, like grasshoppers, and laying on my pillow. And they certainly were demised, but I just really freaked me out. And I went ahead and took another dose, and I still felt things in my throat, and I thought, oh my God, what is this? What is this? This is insane, And so I turned around, and next thing you know, I end up on the second dose of honey. I spit up an egg sac. I have a picture of it on one of the videos dealing with insects, Morgellon insects, plants, and etc. So you can see it on there. And it was about an inch long, and there was nothing in it. I had looked in it, but I took a good look at it under the microscope, and it was an empty sac. I dissected anyway to look at it, and didn't really retrieve any more information out of it. So, and that was the end of it. But I had trouble in my throat for a long time, even up till today. I ended up going to the hospital at one point and had them look in my throat, and they didn't see anything. They sent me to X-ray. They did a radiology exam, a barium swallow where you drink some barium, and there on the fluoroscopy, the X-ray screen showed that the hyoid bone, which was part of the swallowing function in the throat, that part of it was gone. that it was destroyed. And they didn't see anything in terms of the calcium in the bone that looked like it was disease that caused it. But rather, it was just like they had no explanation. And of course, I had an explanation, but I can't very well tell them, well, I spit up an insect egg sac that was in my throat, and obviously, and the insects as well, and they were eating on my throat, feeding on it. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I recently found somebody else that's had Morgellons for 4 years or so, and they too had a problem with their throat and were looking for it, and hopefully they're taking the honey, and the honey will help them. But you need to know about that, and at the first sign of a sore throat or any kind of problems in your throat, take some honey. You don't need to take a whole lot. Just take honey and let it go down in your throat, and just don't drink any water after it. Go to sleep and try to leave the honey there. Try not to let the honey drain all the way down into your stomach, but leave it there, and that's what the best thing you can do for your throat. It's just amazing that this is even possible, and it's certainly such a terrible, terrible nightmare. But we have to endure and persevere and battle on, and we can, with resolve, we can get better. So I wanted to get over to the bath real quick. We used the shampoo and body wash with grapefruit and several essential oils. It's highly acidic, and you put it on your skin, it penetrates, and this is real good. It worked a miracle for us and turned our whole life around. And within a few weeks, we were able to start sleeping at night, which we didn't do for the first several months. So we stumbled upon Super Shock It, calcium chloride, which is the same thing of MMS for some of you who have taken MMS, which we did twice, and I would recommend the MMS 1. I know nothing of the MMS 2, but it is calcium chloride liquefied, and that you take internally. But anyway, we took the calcium chloride and we put it in a full bath, 1 teaspoon. Let me say that again, 1 teaspoon. It's very, very powerful and strong stuff. We put that in there, and then we added a quarter cup or an eighth of a cup of salt, and not Epsom salt, but what you want to use is sea salt, or even table salt is fine. Kosher salt if you wish, whatever. But go ahead and use that. Mix it up good. Get in the tub, nice and warm, hot, and just relax. Don't use soap. Use this because it'll sterilize just about everything in the tub, like it would in a pool. And get your head under the water, your ears, the water get in there, and bathe and soak for 15-20 minutes at least. Turn on a fan if you do have one in there to an exhaust fan in the bathroom to suck out any of the fumes, or leave the bathroom open so you don't, because it's going to give you a strong smell of chlorine. But it works well. If you have a swimming pool, even better. If you have just add an extra Super Shock It to the pool of what you would normally do, and or a jacuzzi, add a little extra in it and get in it, and use this on a daily basis all year round. You'll be very surprised at the results. and it really helps. It actually, you're using the acid side in the daytime, in the morning, and in the evening, you're going right across the other side of the scale to the other extreme, which would be alkaline. So, high acid, then low, and you got to think of these things as if we're the garden, we're the dirt, we're the soil to these entities. And if we're acid one point, then we're alkaline on the next point. They cannot cope with it, and it really shakes their tree, and we rather enjoy that. So again, just a teaspoon of the calcium chloride and an eighth of a cup of salt in the water. We tried all these other baths for purging and everything. Purging is great and wonderful, but what we found out is you purge, you're going to be up for the next 7 hours, 8 hours in a major battle. We're looking to kill them, where we don't have to battle them for 8 hours or so. And this has worked for us. We drank a lot of grapefruit juice. I'll get into that as well when we get to the diet side of what we have used. And we just pray that it'll help you. Alrighty, I'm going to end this. I'm coming up on 12 minutes. I think we only have 13 minutes. Just don't give up. Persevere and endure. And pray. Jesus is real. He's more real than anyone can even begin to know. Put your trust in him. Enter into a personal relationship, and seek him with everything that you are. It'll work out. He's faithful. Believe me, he is faithful, though none of us deserve it. Okay. God bless, and we will speak to you soon on biofilm and how to remove it off your skin and how to look after your body. Okay, thank you for watching.